Armenia is one of the oldest countries of the world. The region of the Armenian Republic has been populated starting from the prehistoric times. The region of the Armenian uplands has been the cradle of civilizations. Since antiquity, the inhabitants of the Armenian uplands have built and created and passed on their culture and traditions from one generation to the next. Therefore, the roots of Armenian architecture can be traced back to deep in antiquity. The architecture of this region is distinctively Armenian and very unique. The monuments of the Armenian architecture provide a good source for the study of ancient Middle Eastern cultures. Many artistic and constructional aspects of architectural inventions, forms, and methods have originated from the Armenian architecture. The architectural monuments, fortresses, and cities which we have inherited allow us to form a good picture about the path of Armenian architecture and building through history. The Armenian architecture has been perfected through time by relying on national standards. It is flawless in terms of theory and construction. Once one is acquainted with Armenian architectural monuments, unconsciously one is overwhelmed by feelings of amazement, respect, and gratitude for the people who thought, built, and preserved beautifully constructed architectural giants, which attest to the difficult journey of Armenians through time. This presentation is a brief account of Armenian architecture. In order to make it easy and understandable, we have divided the history of Armenian architecture into the following categories. Prehistoric times until 4th century BC. 4th century BC until 3rd century AD. Early Middle Ages 4th century until 7th century. Middle Ages 9th century until 11th century. Middle Ages 12th century until 14th century. Late Middle Ages 15th century to 18th century. 19th century to early 20th century. Contemporary architecture. The beginning of architecture was in the prehistoric times when the rational man started to build. The first structure that man built was a dwelling. Before the first dwelling, man used to inhabit caves, which were sometimes difficult to reach. Armenia being a mountainous country, caves were very abundant. Archaeological evidence shows that in the region of Ani, Kerat, and Goris, caves were not only inhabited in ancient times, but also in early and late Middle Ages. Later on, when the skill of processing stones was developed, man started to accommodate the stones found for his needs, then gradually used them to build dwellings. Of architectural and constructional value are the prehistoric megalithic structures, the dolmens, menhirs, and cromlechs. The menhirs in Armenia are vertical stones of 3 meters, made of basalt or tuff. According to archaeologists, these were placed on the tombs of the members of the upper class, like tribe leaders and priests. These menhirs consist of single, tall, upright megaliths. They are most common in the Arakatsotan region, Shamiram, Aruch, and around the Masra villages and in the region of Syunik. The dolmens are also burial structures. However, contrary to the menhirs, they show proof of constructive thinking. These Neolithic burial chambers consist of upright ring of stones, topped by capstone. In Armenia, dolmens are found in the region of Syunik villages of Zorakar and Uz, and Oshakan, and Arakatsotan region, Parvi and Dakhkahovit villages. Cromlechs are also prehistoric monuments used for tombs. They consist of monoliths of up to 0.5 meter, encircling a mound at 3 to 30 meter diameters. Cromlechs are found in the regions of Arakatzoten, Sunik, and Tavush. Archaeological excavations have been carried out in Lechashen in the region of Lake Sevan, Takavoranist area of Vanadzor, Sheresh Hill, and Metamor in the surrounding area of Echmiadzin, Zorakar and Uz in the area of Sisyan, Horoman in Artik, Shengavit in Yerevan, and many more. Metamor is located in the region of Armavir. It is one of the oldest habitation areas of the Ararat Valley. This region was populated starting from the 4th millennium until late Middle Ages. Metamor was surrounded by high ramparts made of stones to protect the structures of worship and industry. Metamor was known for its metal smelting industry. From the Metamor region, gold, silver, and bronze artifacts have been excavated, as well as saucers of clay, which indicate the level of sophistication and development of art in the region. Shengavit has been populated in different time periods throughout history. Archaeological evidence shows that the region was inhabited starting from 6th millennium to 2nd millennium BC. Circular structures of 7-meter diameters for dwellings surrounded a circular structure of larger diameter. According to experts, the latter was not a dwelling but a place for worship. Besides the circular structure, there were supporting square structures. The bases of all the structures were made of stone, and the walls were made of brick, which were covered with plaster from the inside and painted bright blue. The area was completely surrounded by ramparts of basalt without any kind of mortar. Although the structure of the ramparts is simple, but their construction required great physical abilities. This habitation had also a secret passageway which extended to the river. Similar structures have been found in the area of the mountain Arakat, Lake Sevan, Sisyan, and Aruj. The architectures of these structures are very simple, but they contain such elements which indicate future development and refinement of architectural methods. The prehistoric architects took into consideration the natural conditions of the surroundings and used natural resources for construction, that is, the stone. This tradition is still well preserved by the Armenian